Okay, I think I got this working properly. Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done, actually it's only been a few days, so yeah. I'm trying to be more consistent, but I'm not making promises, like I tried to say, in the past, like, I'm sorry, I promise I'll be more consistent.
Now. LGBT plus.
Let me see if I can turn off talkback, voiceover. 1, 2, 3.
Voiceover off.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, because I don't want voiceover interrupting me. That's a nice thing about my iPad is that, and I really should do videos on it more. It's like, I don't want, the reason I don't like to say, I promise, I'll do videos is because when I've done it in the past, I've realized now that stuff just always comes up, or my depression is always gets really bad to the point where I just don't want to do anything. I'm gonna see if this camera is positioned correctly. I don't know if it is, but I'll see when I look at the video. I don't know if you guys can see my face. I think you can, so I can see the light. My visually impaired self can see light, So, yeah, I like the back-facing camera because the light gives me the perspective to look at. Yeah, this'll do. Alright, I'll be right back. Let me get my coffee. You know me, I always have, like, coffee or something with caffeine while I'm doing videos or anything. I need to find my charger. Excuse me, Cole. The cat's in the way. So this is update part 2, and I never got a chance. I've just been so tired to talk about what I wanted to talk about, and that was. Where the hell did that go? Sorry guys, I'm looking for a charger for my phone. And it was here, and now it's not. But, I think I've got a USB, adapter here. I found another charger. Oh. What? I'm always just placing shit, Oh, found it! Yay! I found. Oh, things are falling. Oh. Damn it! Things are falling. Okay. What I wanted to talk about was boundaries, and I think it's important to talk about that, and not to feel too offended. I'm gonna make sure I'm close to the camera so you can at least hear me properly.
Screen off. Charging started, battery level 2%. 7:40 p.m. Charging slowly.
7:40. So I'm gonna try to do this video real quick.
Charging.
About 20 minutes, so.
Screen off.
I've got 20 minutes to do anything I want, and then I'm gonna go watch Raw. And hopefully, if I'm not too tired, even though I'm nocturnal, the thing is, like, I've had to change my sleeping clock the last few years to accommodate where the fuck I live, and it shouldn't be that way. Honestly, you should live somewhere that accommodates you. You should live in an environment that you know you'll be happy in, and if you're day eternal, then you live in an environment where clearly things close early, or close maybe at 12. If you're nocturnal, you're gonna want to live in a bigger city, where things close late. So got my coffee. I've got the tube in the other room, but I don't think anyone can tell really what it is. And I know what it is. I think it's. Alright, everyone, sorry about that. I went to go turn it down just a little bit because I'm paranoid. I didn't want to get some bullshit strike from YouTube, even though it wasn't all that loud. I still call that other strike I got bullshit. Because it was a non-profit religious group that I'm part of. It was an event, and we were told that we could put it on social media, and Sony and all these other groups that want to make a bitch about tiny little, only a few minutes of the stupid music and stuff that was being done, more or less it was being played, and there were songs that had messages of like not being a bigot, not being racist, stuff like that. So now today I'm doing all right today. I noticed I just took my second Cymbalta. I missed my first one, so I actually dropped a pill, which sucks being visually impaired because now I can't find it. But since I only took one today, it's no biggie. If I have a pill gone out of the bottle, just as long as I don't lose any more. Because that just means tomorrow, I'll, it's kind of perfect. If I lost the pill and today I didn't take the pill, then what does it matter? So, let's talk boundaries. So when I saw my new therapist last, I asked her if I could grab her elbow, and I was taken aback because I didn't expect this. And I think how she went about it was okay. It was good. It was because she wasn't a bitch. And the thing about my therapist, and I won't say her name for privacy reasons, but so far she's really good. I mean, I feel she's good, even though we haven't had many sessions, because I'm trying to remember if I had. Okay, no, I didn't have an appointment this week. It's next week. I got time. So, she's very wonderful. She's probably one of the most best verbal directors in terms of giving directions. If she was not, and she was terrible and guiding me into shit, then I would ask to switch therapists on the basis of, well, you don't want me to touch you and you're guiding me into shit, or I would be like, well, you're kind of guiding me into things. So I know you don't want me to touch you, but what are we gonna do? So it's a gray area. I respect her boundary. I do. And I think that she was very, not responsible. What's the word? She was very good about how she responded to me, because some people would have been like, oh, well, they would have been bitch about it. What I like to say about my therapist is that she's firm but nice. And usually she's firm in that, when she needs to, kind of get a point across, or, she's not a bitch about it, but she basically puts it in a tone and in a voice that, that makes you kind of feel like, okay, yeah, she's serious, you know, which is good because I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. There's people like my really good Irish friend. I'm just gonna say my friend from Ireland. That's a better way to say it. Because I'm part Irish and she's full Irish. No, actually, I don't know. I think she's Irish and Welsh, but she's from Ireland and she's a real sweetheart, and she's firm but nice. She's firm when she has to be, but she's not a dick about it. You know, she still knows how to. People that know how to use like a gentle demeanor, a voice, but be firm at the same time. It's a good skill to have, because a lot of the time in the world, we have people that are firm, but they come off as assholes, and maybe they're not really assholes, but they're coming off like that. And so back to what happened. I didn't grab her elbow, but what is it? Oh yeah, okay. So I grabbed instinctively because me as a blind person, most people just offer me their shoulder and their elbow or whatever. Properly sighted guide is you take their elbow and they guide you. That's proper. Now, she's probably I don't know, but I think she's never worked with a blind or visually impaired person. But because she's so good at giving direction, I really don't care. I was just taken aback because I've never gotten that reaction before. So, like, when I realized she was moving, I had asked, can I get your elbow? You know, and she goes, oh, what do you need she's like, what do you need my elbow for? And she seemed really, I'm not sure. But because I'm very observant with people, just something, it seemed different there. Like, it's not just she didn't, I think I understand how different people can feel uncomfortable being touched. Like, I myself don't like it if cisgender or trans, even trans men, because they act like men. There are men, the men. If they come up behind me and, I'm gonna say, I've never had a trans guy do this to me before. And I'm not sure if it would bother me the same. I do see them as guys. My best friend is a trans guy, and the only thing about that is both of us being trans. We always talk about different things, like, because we've tried to date in the past, even though I'm a sapphic. It's like, this was kind of before, even a few months ago, where I was just still exploring myself mentally, and what I had to do is really sit down and think about stuff, and like, I felt like it's complicated, but I felt like, guys don't really attract me at all. I mean, there have been circumstances where if they're really nice to me, it can kind of get me in the mood. Or they have like a certain attitude that can kind of get me in the mood. But I don't think that has to do with necessarily gender. And I think that's a good topic for my next video. I talk video games, I talk wrestling, and I talk trans stuff and plain stuff on this channel. Even satanic stuff, like my religion, if it ever pops up. So it's good that I have variety, or just different topics to talk about. But yeah, I'm keep getting sidetracked. So, the person, my I guess, guarded. Like, really, like, she put a shield up all of a sudden. And it made me kind of, like, you know how a dog kind of turns their head to the side and they'll go, like, no, like, like they're really confused. I was like that mentally. I was like, but, uh, I'm not gonna do anything to you. And, you know, I think I understand, but I'm not sure if I do. But I respect your boundary. I don't know her. I don't know her life. I don't know what she's been through. So, you know, but I'm not going to assume anything. So, I respected that, and because she said, "Can I was directing you verbally? Can we do that?" And I'm like, "Okay," but I always ask questions because I like to understand the other person's point of view, and I find it's helpful to ask questions because then it doesn't leave room for you to assume and get all offended or annoyed or take it the wrong way or act like a jerk or a bitch, you know, like people assume too much and then it makes them feel a type of way and it really shouldn't. So what I did is I asked questions, and I said, "You don't care that I'm blind?" And she goes, "No." And see, I want to, and it's always good to ask that because sometimes people act a little funny if you're disabled. So then I asked, did I make you feel odd when I asked? And she's like, when you asked me what? And I'm like, side a guide. And she's like, oh, I just don't like being touched. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good. Just let me know. You know, and I, when a guy came out, well, I think it was like security or whatever the fuck they were, they came out to stand with me with my cab, and they were talking to my therapist and let me go. I had even said to her, out of appreciation, while she was talking to the guy, I don't think she heard me, but I was trying to say to her, thank you for telling me. Because it's really important as human beings or other kin or whatever the fuck you identify as to communicate your feelings and your thoughts and you know why, because you don't want the other person, especially if you're a therapist and you are their therapist and you want things to go smoothly, you don't want to leave room for assumption to be a complete fuck up or mess or whatever. So that is what I wanted to talk about, and I think boundaries are very, very important, and I think it's better to ask and understand than assume. Because if they don't mean it offensively, and they're not doing it because you're a douche, you know, they're a douchebag, or you're blind, or maybe you're disabled, or maybe they don't like you for whatever reason. But if they're just saying, I don't like this, or I can't do this, or this bothers me, it's a trigger, then you back off and you find another way to do it. And that's what we did. So, leave your comments and thoughts below, and I'll see you next time. Alright, I'm gonna go watch Raw. Bye.